Guys, please smash the like button on this
Guys,
video.
next news story. The media has released the images of the three men who attacked and robbed the brothers of Premier League and England footballers Marcus Rashford and Trent Alexander-Arnold at gunpoint. Talleko Lemonious, Tariq, Dervan and Romario were jailed following the armed robbery of Dane Rashford and Tyler Alexander-Arnold in Moss Side in January 2019. So Dane, who's the brother of Marcus Rashford, and Tyler, who's the brother of Alexander-Arnold, were targeted by the men who were armed with a sawn-off shotgun, a machete and a baseball bat. The brothers were hit to the head before being robbed of a £70,000 Range Rover, wallets, designer watches whilst eating breakfast with friends at a cafe. Following the robbery, Lemonious, who's 27, Dervan is 22 and Harmer is 21, fled the scene at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour in the Rangy, as well as the BMW they'd arrived in. However, police were able to locate the stolen car as it was fitted with a tracker to a house in Fallowfield where the men were arrested and the stolen items recovered. Lemonious, Dervan and Harmer denied involvement, but they were convicted of the robbery. So Lemonious, Dervan and Harmer denied involvement, but were convicted of the robbery. They were jailed, so Lemonious got 20 years, Dervan got 7.5 years, and Harmer got 4 years. The prosecutor, Stephen McNally, said that the brothers had met with friends and had gone to Little Rock, a Caribbean takeaway in Moss Side, to have breakfast before driving to Brighton to watch Liverpool play a Premier League game. They parked on a nearby street before arriving at their cafe at around 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 to 15 minutes after sitting down to eat, three men wearing dark clothing and balaclavas burst in, armed with sawn-off shotguns, machete and baseball bats. They used violence to steal watches, a set of keys and wallets of the 5 victims. These were high-profile victims and had been deliberately targeted, the prosecutor said. Mr Alexander-Arnold heard one of the men shout, "Get your watch off," and turned to find a man wearing a mask about 2 or 3 feet away from him. He then swung a baseball bat, hitting his head and knocking him to the floor. The bat was swung with such force that it broke in half and it was left in the cafe. He said he saw the 2 of the men, one armed with a machete and one had a gun. They continued to shout about hanging over the watches, so Mr Alexander-Arnold pulled up his sleeves to show he was not wearing a watch, instead emptying his pockets and his wallet and keys to his £70,000 Range Rover. Mr Rashford was also struck to the head and knocked to the ground by a man he described as wearing a ski mask. He said he remembered having a sawn-off shotty pointed at his face before he handed over a £22,000 Rolex. Both men suffered wounds to their head and needed stitches after the attack. One of their friends was hit to the head and staggered backwards before being confronted with a man pointing a shotgun at him. He said he believed he was going to be shot and immediately took off his Rolex watch, worth around 3 or 4 grand. And there was another friend who had his Gucci wallet taken from him, and a 5th man had a £1,000 Hugo Boss watch stolen too. The robbers, as I said, fled using the Range Rover and a BMW that they'd come in, but they were caught an hour later by police who had accessed the tracker in the car. They were arrested at an address where police found the stolen watches, the wallets and the ski masks. They also recovered the sawn-off shotgun hidden in a nearby bush, which contained Harmer's DNA. The court heard of a separate unrelated incident involving Lemonious, who pleaded guilty to possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. The prosecutor said that in September 2021, officers were called following reports of gunshots in Withington. They found a VW Golf with a bullet lodged in the driver's door. Inquiries later revealed that Lemonious was involved in that shooting. He was said to have had 28 previous convictions for 52 offences, including for robbery, violence and drugs. Dervan had 7 convictions on his record for offences including assault, possession with intent to supply drugs and robbery, and Harmer had 4 offences on his criminal record. The defence for Lemonious, Wayne Jackson, said he accepts now his involvement in the robbery. He says it was a very difficult growing up in Moss Side to break away from the environment he grew up in. He says gangs were very much part of his day-to-day life. His life was like a revolving door. He should have turned left, but he went right. The defence for Dervan said his client was a youth at the time and that he had experienced difficulties at home. And the defence for Harmer said that his client was also 17 at the time of the offences and that no further offences had been committed since then. The judge, Recorder Peter Hogan, said this was clearly a brazen and planned robbery in broad daylight. You were all armed, You were all disguised wearing dark clothing and masks, and the two victims were brothers of well-known professional footballers. You clearly targeted them for their expensive watches. So Lemonious from Wythenshawe was jailed for 18 years with an extended license period of 2 years. Dervan was jailed for 5.5 years with an extended license period of 2 years. And Harmer was jailed for 4 years. So guys, this is a new story coming from Manchester Ways. So guys, in this next news story, a 22-year-old autistic man has been given a 20-year extended prison sentence for stabbing to death a fisherman in a terrifying 20-second burst of violence outside a Royal British Legion club. Dervan Jewell was cleared of murdering the father of one, Max Maguire, in an alleyway in Lymington in the New Forest, Hampshire area on October the 22nd, 2021, but convicted of manslaughter. He pleaded guilty to having an offensive weapon, a chef's knife, and after a trial at Winchester Crown Court was convicted of wounding Luke Gray and Georgia Hall. The fisherman, Max Maguire, died after being stabbed outside the Royal British Legion in Lymington. Psychiatrist Dr. Craig Forbes told the court Jewell's autism meant he had difficulty understanding the emotions and perspectives of others and a lack of social interaction skills, and is at a risk of reoffending. This was shown by the defendant's description of his victims as red in the face, like they'd been told off by their dad, he said. The judge, Mrs. Justice Cutts, sentenced Jewell to 16 years in custody and 4 years on licence, with the term to be served in a mental health facility while treatment is ongoing. She told the defendant, until you understand how your difficulties associated with your conditions affect you, there is likely to remain a degree of dangerousness associated with it. The defendant's brother Garan was acquitted of his part in the incident after the prosecution offered no evidence during the trial. Fight broke out after a row between two groups inside the club after one challenged Dervan's brother of his age. Tensions also rose over a nitrous oxide canister that Dervan had found and taken to the club but refused to sell it to the other group, which contained the 3 victims. One of the victims suffered 2 serious wounds to his lower back which required emergency hospital treatment, and the other woman suffered a less serious injury to her chest. The prosecutor, Jonathan Underhill, said the violence happened in less than 20 seconds and added there was a short burst of violence which took place in an alleyway. Max Maguire died within moments from a wound he received to the left side of his chest. This penetrated his lung and damaged his artery internally and caused catastrophic and non-survivable injuries. Dervan Jewell claimed he acted in self-defence and feared his brother being killed. In a victim impact statement read to the court, Mr. Maguire's partner said the defendant ripped the whole world apart for her and their daughter in one cowardly action. She said Max was there for every single moment his daughter needed him. She was so proud of her big strong daddy. Every single moment they had, the future is gone. She said her daughter screams for her father and told her, I want to be an angel to be with daddy. So guys, I just want to say rest in peace, Max, and my condolences go out to your family. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.